Welcome everyone, and if you're new to our sessions, just to explain a little bit about what is Kabbalah and what is the wisdom of Kabbalah. Kabbalah explains all the secrets of the universal laws of life. Basically, anything that we go through in life, the why behind it, that's what Kabbalah is. Kabbalah came before all religions, all known philosophies, and basically Kabbalah is the spiritual essence behind the human soul. Why the soul goes through everything in life, from pains to joys to relationships to soulmates, health, healing, consciousness, the creation of the world, and where we're going to. So that's what the wisdom of Kabbalah is. And every time we like to speak about a different subject that exists within the realm of Kabbalah. Kabbalah speaks literally about every subject that exists in this world. So if there's anything we really want to understand, where it came from, what it means, and how to use it in our life, we turn to the wisdom of Kabbalah. Tonight's session, we want to speak about going back in time and erasing mistakes. We know that every time we make a mistake, or every time we do a short circuit, as the Kabbalists explain, what is a short circuit? It's when I've done an action that is with my ego, with my selfishness, with my impulsiveness, with my reactivity, that is drawing a lot of energy to make me feel good, right? When I'm angry, and I just let a person know how angry I am, and how insulted I was, and I'm defensive, and I'm reactive and out of control. Why do I act that way? Because I draw tremendous amounts of energy. I draw pleasure. Albeit it's only for a moment. It's only for a moment and then it disappears, but I do enjoy the energy. I do enjoy the rush when it comes. So a short circuit is really a mistake, or a sin as we call it, is really me doing something selfish where I get temporary energy and then I've lost that energy, right? It can be stealing. It can be stealing something, I want something that someone else has, and maybe I'm not actually committing robbery, but I take it without them knowing. Or maybe I steal ideas. Or maybe I just steal someone's energy. I'm in a bad mood. I had a bad day. So what do? I complain. I take from my friend. I take from someone that I know will validate my complaints. I'm stealing their energy. I feel good, and then I feel depressed again. And so it goes. A short circuit is basically any pleasure that I feel for a moment, and then I lose it. And we do that all the time. The problem is, the more of those short circuits that we have, the more chaos is manifested in our lives. Pain, discouragement, troubles, chaos, suffering, bad mishaps, bad relationships, bad circumstances, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, speeding tickets, accidents, health issues, disease. All of those things are an accumulation of what we call short circuits, drawing a lot of energy temporarily, reactively, selfishly. And as that energy accumulates, it builds chaos. So the Kabbalists explain that there is a way to go back in time to actually fix the mistake so I don't have to go through the pain and suffering that comes from it. I can actually go back in time and undo the mistake. I can get back the light, which I gave over to the negative side. The question is, how do we do it? And that's what we're about to speak about. Let's use an analogy. Imagine a bank robber goes in, or just a robber, he goes into a convenience store and he steals a bunch of things. And then he realizes that his face is on the camera. And there's a videotape showing how he did everything. Ideally, what would this robber, thief want to do? He would want to go back into the convenience store, take out the cassette that has his face on it, showing him doing the crime, and put in a new cassette. This new cassette will be clean. It's not the best analogy, I'm not saying that's what we should do, but in life, spirituality is very much the same thing. The Creator gave us the opportunity to go back in time and change cassettes. To basically take my old cassette, showing the mistake that I'm doing, and to put in a new cassette. The question is, how do I do it? And in fact, it says that we need to fall. That in life, even though we're trying hard to be perfect, trying hard to go to our next level spiritually, trying hard to break our issues, break our corrections, break our selfishness, not hurt people anymore, even though we're always trying to do that, we are bound to fall. It says that the sin of Adam had to happen because there always needs to be an initial falling. If I don't fall, I don't know what pain looks like. I don't know what darkness looks like. I don't know what negativity looks like. I can't just be in the clouds all day and be perfect. I wouldn't relate to people. I wouldn't be sensitive. I wouldn't know what other people go through. But it's not an excuse for me to fall on purpose. It says that a person needs to strive all the time to be perfect, to be transformed, to be sharing, to go to his next level. In the process, without him knowing, he will fall. It's gonna happen. And I'm sure it's happened to you. Think about the last time that you didn't mean to, but you hurt somebody. You didn't mean to, but you made a mistake, and it ruined something. It ruined something at your job, at your relationships with your wife, with your kids. It ruined something. Realize that it was meant to happen if you didn't do it intentionally. It was meant to happen. Because once we fall, it says that we go down to the depths of the negativity and we bring back all the sparks of light. And that's what creates many great leaders. The Creator ensured that they would fall first, because by falling you gather all the sparks of light that have fallen. And you bring them up back to their source, back to be with you. And now you can be a leader. But if you didn't fall, you can never be a leader. If you're going to be working at a big company, if you're looking for a big position, if you're looking to be a great athlete, you must know that there must be a failure that comes before. The trick of the opponent, our opponent, which is always trying to mess us up, is to make us stay down and be depressed about what we went through. But that is not spiritual work. And that is not Kabbalah. Kabbalah teaches us that we have the opportunity to do what's called repentance. In Hebrew, repentance is called teshuvah, which means to return. We have the opportunity to return any time, any moment in our life, to undo the mistakes from the past. There's a 4-step process to going back in time and changing any action of negativity, even the worst actions. It says that even if a person committed the act of murder, he can do this 4-step process and fix what he did. By doing this 4-step process, he allows the person that was murdered, the soul, to be reincarnated and come back to this world. Obviously, it doesn't excuse the fact of the crime. But if it already happened, there's a way to fix it. And it's this 4-step process, which we'll explain in just a moment. A great Kabbalist and spiritual leader, Rav Nachman of Breslov, once wrote this amazing passage about the mistakes that we make. He said that Rav Nachman emphasized how powerful repentance can be, that a person can transform any mistake he's made. He says that you may have fallen to the lowest depths, God forbid, but no matter how low you fall, you are never allowed to give up hope. It says that repentance is higher than all the secrets in the world, and there is no room and no place for a person to have despair. It says that if you are worthy, if you do this properly, even your worst mistakes and sins can be turned to a blessing, turned to something good. Any mistake can be transformed into an actual virtue, which means that any mistake we've made, if we learn how to transform it through repentance, can actually become one of our positive virtues, like a gift, an ability we can use to affect the world in a positive way. So my mistake can actually become my gift. Not just I remove my mistake, but the mistake becomes the gift. It says there's many secrets here, but the main lesson is that your failings and shortcomings can easily be brought back to the Creator, since nothing is beyond the power of the Creator. The most important thing is never give up. but to continue to cry out from within your heart and to pray. What does it mean to pray? To yearn that you want to be different, and to pray and cry out to the Creator that you wish to be different. And that leads us to our 4-step process. What is the process? And it's got to be a real process. It's not just like, I confess, and now it's fixed. It says that after this 4-step process, the Creator looks in our hearts to see if we're really different. If we're not different, it doesn't count. What are the 4 steps? The first step is to recognize and acknowledge. Go back in time to the moment you made the mistake. Feel the mistake. Feel what's going on. Who's in the picture? Reimagine the entire scenario. Use your creativity. Use your imagination. Go back in time. Recreate the scenario. That's step number 1. Step number 2. Feel the pain of what you did. Reenact the scene and feel the pain of what you caused the other person, what you caused to your own soul, and ultimately the negative energy that was released like a toxic biological weapon, let's put it that way, that was released that affects the world. Because our negative energy doesn't just end at us. It pollutes the world. Feel the pain. Try to really go into the shoes of the other person. Someone was caused pain by what we did. It wasn't just us. And maybe it was just us, and we need to feel the pain of our soul. This soul that's trying to be so perfect. The soul that's trying to reach back to the Creator. The soul that's trying to experience miracles and wonders, and each day we shut it down. We tell it no, and all we do is feed our selfish ego. Feel the pain of that soul. That's step number 2. Step number 3 is actually where we put in the new cassette. You have to reenact the entire scenario, but this time in the most positive and proactive way. What would that movie look like? What would you be saying? What would you be doing? How would you be acting if you could relive it again? If you could have it be as proactive as possible, how would you reenact that scene? That is the new cassette you're putting in. Visualize it. Walk yourself through it step by step. That's step number 3. Step number 4 is the commitment. A deep and sincere commitment that when the future comes, you will never make that mistake again. Visualize your future. Visualize yourself older. Visualize what your life will look like in 1 month from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now. And how you are committing yourself never to do that mistake again. By now, after these 4 steps, you should feel different in your heart. And if the Creator can testify and look in your heart to see that you are sincerely different, you have now removed the judgment that otherwise would come to you. This is a very powerful tool, my friends. It is a way to avoid chaos. It can be something that will take 5-10 minutes. And just by doing it, I learned the lessons that otherwise the Creator would want me to go through to learn my lessons. Not that the Creator puts us through pain. The Creator doesn't put pain on us. But the Creator allows us to go through certain processes so that we learn lessons so we can become happier. Why not learn those lessons in a proactive way? By these 4 steps of repentance, of teshuvah, of returning. It's a technology that is 21st century technology. Let's put it this way. One day, CNN will be reporting about this technology. That's how powerful it is. CNN will say, we have a 4-step technology, and it works. But they don't know about it yet. But we know about it. The Zohar shares us this 4-step process. Find something in your life that is still haunting you, that is a mistake that you feel bad about. Use the 4-step process. Go back in time, re-experience what happened, reenact it. Step 2, feel the pain of the person, of your soul, of the world because of the action you did. Step 3, put in the new cassette. Reenact the entire scene exactly the way you would want it to be. If you could do it over again, who would you be? What would you say? What would you do? Step 4, make a sincere commitment that you're never going to do that mistake again. Even if you're going to make that mistake again, that's fine. But at that moment, you got to be committed to not make that mistake. We're bound to fall. But remember, before a great success, you will fall. The question is, will you give up or will you continue? And when you continue, use this 4-step process to go back and fix the mistake you made. At this point, nothing can hurt you. Nothing can touch you. You move forward, pain